For social studies, there is also Common Core standards. The social studies core is very important, and there are a lot of great things in the social studies core. However, social studies is not tested in Utah, so it is encouraged that it is integrated into these other subject areas: language arts, math, science. We'll go over the social studies standards here today, and then I will explain a little bit about how we integrate those into other content areas. There are 10 national social studies standards. They are culture, time, continuity, and change, people, places, and environments, individual development and identity, individuals, groups, and institutions, power, authority, and governance, production, distribution, and consumption, science, technology, and society, global connections, and civic ideals and practices. Based on those 10 themes, each state creates their own standards. Each state's standards are slightly different. Starting in the 3rd grade in Utah, students learn about community. In the 4th grade, they learn about their state and its history. In the 5th grade, they learn about the history of the United States and events that influence that. And by 6th grade, they're learning about the world. In kindergarten, 1st and 2nd grade, they are integrating those science ideals into different concepts and different content areas. The 6 themes for the Utah Social Studies core is community, culture, economics, geography, government, and history. Within those, the 10 national themes are covered. With the different grade levels, there are different focuses, as I mentioned, starting in 3rd grade. They will build off of each other, and the Utah core will talk about what students learn in 3rd grade. The 4th grade core will not only talk about what students learn in 3rd grade, but what students should learn in 4th grade, and so on and so forth until we get to 6th grade. One important aspect that is included in every grade's standards is the goal for social studies. I'm going to read that to you. It says, the most important goal, a well-lived life. Excitement, wonder, inquiry, delight, and puzzlement are central to meaningful learning in social studies. Social studies should be fun and intriguing for all students and provide opportunities to make important lifelong connections between the past, present, and future. Students who appreciate the sacrifices that have been made in the past and understand the challenges that lie ahead can make better decisions in the present. So as the Utah standards focus on community, culture, economics, geography, government, and history, they are all focused on a well-lived life. In these different standards, there are a lot of different ways that we can introduce students to what is happening. With community, we often focus on who is in our neighborhoods, who's in our schools, our hospitals, in our towns and communities that are there helping us, that make our community run and a better place. We invite police officers to come in with their dogs to show the students what important work they do. We invite firefighters and post office workers to come in. We interview the school principal and get to know them as well. When looking at cultures, especially in Utah, we focus on Native American cultures that have been here before other settlements were here. We focus on the culture of your family, the individual culture, the culture of your neighborhood, the culture of your state and country. With economics, starting right in kindergarten, we talk about the difference of wants and needs, of producers and consumers. Who are making the products that we need and who are they giving it out to? Economics furthers by going into the importance of money, managing money, and things like that as students get older. With geography, we again talk about the geography of our neighborhoods. We map out where our house is in relation to the school. Then moving forward, we look at the geography of Utah, landforms, mountains, rivers, lakes, deserts. Moving into American history, in 5th grade, the geography is more on the entire country of the United States. And in 6th grade, the geography of the world, where things are located. Government, again, is focused very basic in the younger grades, and we talk about the government that is governing our communities. We then move on to the government of our state, the government of our town, the government of our country, and then just different governments around the world so students can understand how that works in different areas. History, again, is focused on the level that students are in. History in the younger grades might talk about the history of their town or their community. It might be the history of Utah, the history of the country, or even different histories around the world, which is interesting for students, and they absolutely love learning about that. As they get working on these different things, we integrate that with different content areas. One thing that we did the other day was we were learning about the history of the United States and the influencers that took place during the Revolutionary War. Often, teachers have to integrate these activities into other content areas. So we had students read about different influencers. This is an example that we used, King George. They wrote a report. They were not only reading about that influencer, they wrote down a little report in a box. Then they had to present it by speaking to their peers and presenting it to their peers and listening to other peers' reports, so they would understand how those influencers affect us, not only with our history, but the government as it came about in our country. So integrating social studies is very, very important in the Utah standards, because it often takes a lot of time to do all of the subjects, and we found that integrating is a more natural way for students to learn. I hope that helps you as you are looking at social studies.
Just like Jamie said, we provide an integrated approach to the creation of all curriculum in our senior methods courses before our students go out to student teach. Most Utah teachers have been taught that they will need to integrate across the board, that they will need to bring in different topics. We have only scratched the surface of a few of the different curriculum areas. There is also standards for dance, music, physical education, health, writing. I'm trying to think of all the different, there's many standards that have to go into it. In a teacher's day, they need to integrate across the board. We really like to focus on problem solving, teaching our students, our young students, how to problem solve. And we feel like they need to do that through integrating curriculum across curriculum areas. Thank you. Hope this helps.
Thank you.